And I forgot to say something funny to make you laugh before I pushed record.
It's
That's my
okay.
fault.
It's okay because we always saying something. We always both laughing. So hey,
Right. We always okay, well, but still, y'all, hey, welcome to the Real On Parenting. I am your co-host, Coach Kiana Shaw Tatum, and this is my girl.
therapist Danielle. If you got to change your name, put your name up there.
Okay,
The
okay.
addition.
Okay, sorry. So here's the thing, because in all spaces, I'm not Tatum yet. Like, people like it's like y'all know me as like you don't need to know my personal life, and so I keep
Right.
Coach Karen. And so
Understood. Understood.
but I just need to go ahead and make the change all the way around because uh it's I get new clients, so they can be introduced under Tatum, but I kind of like the anonymity that I would still have under Shaw. But
I do as
we'll
well.
figure it out. We shall
It'll be
figure
figured
it
out.
out. All right, how you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Let's see a check in. What is your go-to snack?
Lately, because the 40 plus metabolism is just no joke. And there's no wiggle room for cheap snacks or meals. So lately it's been trail mix, but not the one you buy, because the one you buy have an additional 150 calories than when I make it. So I make it with my
What
own
does your trail mix
almonds
consist of? Okay.
and cranberries and pumpkin seeds, because that's like natural collagen.
You
Yeah.
lost me with the pumpkin seeds, but okay. Almonds, cranberries, and cashews are my mix.
Cashews. I had recently added some crumbles of walnuts and what was the other one? Oh, and dehydrated coconut. And it's actually really good.
That friend of mine said coconut is the word I'ma say, so y'all know I've really been kidnapped. Like if I ask for coconut, please come get the kidnappers.
Well, I haven't been kidnapped. Some part of
You
my
know
snack.
what? I like to cook like if I'm frying fish or something, I do like to do it in coconut oil. Um,
Mhm.
but
It
I
gives a
do not
little
like
bit of a
coconut.
sweet taste.
I don't like coconut anywhere else. It doesn't give it a sweet taste to me. It gives it a sweet
Oh,
smell. And that's nice with the mixture
with the
of the
fish.
Louisiana fish fry, blah blah blah. But my
Mhm.
go-to snack has been Tapatio Doritos. I
Okay.
have
You
to
so you haven't
try it.
transitioned over to the 40 plus metabolism just yet. She
No,
ain't she
I
ain't got the
have.
syllabus.
The
You
problem is
have?
I transitioned and was like, but I still love these.
Oh, okay.
So either
Okay.
they transition with me or like because I'm not breaking up. However, Tapatio Doritos, like, and I've only been addicted to these for like 2 years. Um, but those hot chips and stuff can cause ulcers and
They
other
can
great
cause a lot of
problems.
stuff.
Yes, and so I'm trying to be mindful. So I read the book. My husband had me read Eat Right for Your Blood Type.
Oh, you have to share
And
that with me. I've heard
I
about it.
will. I'll send it to you. I will send
Okay.
you the link
I've
right
heard
now.
about it, but have yet to actually read it. Yeah.
So it's really good. So it says I can't eat chicken. Like my body,
Wow.
the peptides, I think it's called. Like it was
Mhm.
like stay away from chicken, but you can have all the lamb. I have learned to make an amazing lamb burger.
Mm. Mm.
I did not
Okay.
think I would like it. There's a restaurant out here that makes it really good. There's a restaurant out in San Diego that makes it good. But I learned to make lamb burgers, like the ground lamb from Sprouts.
Mm.
It's amazing, right?
The
You
lamb
season it.
burger.
Yes. And my husband's like, you season this really good. And I'm like, yes. And you could put it on like a Hawaiian roll or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just need a little extra flair, but it's
Right.
great. Um, I can have, so I didn't eat beef or pork since I was about 15, 16. I have
Okay.
reintroduced beef into my diet because chicken creates like a stomach issue for me. And I never realized it. It was just like, oh, I'm full. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe a little gassy or something like that. But the less I eat chicken, like now when I eat chicken, I'm like, I don't like the way that makes me feel. Right. So
Hmm.
my
Yeah.
blood type, it's not good for my blood type. And so it says that cashews is on the list of foods that I should not be
Really?
partaking in. But I'm
Okay.
not giving up cashews and I'm not giving up tomatoes.
Okay.
And so Because I feel
This
like,
is all new information and it's still, and when you find it's a transition, and no one can just abruptly stop doing what they used to do and be consistent with it. It's a process. It's okay,
yeah, it is. It is.
but it's good
Uh,
information to know as well.
Let me gift the book to you. I don't want you to buy it. Let me gift it to you.
Thank you.
Text me. I know I have your address. I know I have it. But if you could just text me so that it's at the top of my
I
phone,
will.
because
I
you know
will.
if I gotta go look for it, it's gonna be another 6 months before you get this book. Because that ain't my thing. But
We
yeah,
have text messages for what year? Our children were how old? Yeah. So yeah.
listen, because I do have on this phone, I have text messages all the way back to 2012.
Oh,
Like,
let me know how crazy I was talking. But okay.
well, no,
Yes.
not from us, not from us.
Oh, okay.
I have
Okay, just in
receipts.
general.
I have receipts back to 22. I keep
Got it. Got
listen.
it.
The way people be like, so why do you still have that?
For a
I
reason.
didn't delete it because I know y'all. I know it's gonna have to circle back to y'all, right? Like that's my
Yes,
point.
I just deleted mine and my children is dang near in their 30s. Okay. So I understand what you mean with their own children. All right. Keep them. You just never know.
Just never know. And
You
when
just
your
never know.
therapist friends tell you to keep it, you just going to keep it because, like,
You don't keep
why
them.
not? Why not?
Kayla
Uh,
35, okay? In case somebody get amnesia. Just in case somebody get amnesia. It's all right.
and I
Because I got what you
absolutely
said,
do have yes.
clearly.
I d- and thank you for saying it via written communication. There's
Right.
that. All right.
Anywho.
So we're going to talk today about respect, right? So our title today is Stop Expecting Respect from Someone Who is Still Bitter. And this
Hmm.
could be parental, it could be relational, it can be work related. Like there's so many ways that you can come in contact with bitter people, but the level of emotional maturity that we
Right.
keep expecting from people who are acting out of pain versus acting out of reasonable brain power, right? Like this, like just reasonable, like not even using good brain power, just reasonable, right? And so that's where we are today, y'all. That's we're gonna talk about expected stop expecting emotionally mature see that's what I get for trying to read it. Y'all know them people bitter. Quit
What you
expecting them to be
said.
better. Quit expecting them
Yes.
to be better when they bitter.
Yes. And then I want to make it a little bit more specific because you reference different aspects of where this topic can apply. However, I would like to specifically have our conversation specifically or discussion be related to co-parenting, parenting and co-parenting. Because granted, you can be with the person still, but you at because you're at a currently in a place where you've grown. You had your stuff and you've worked on your stuff and you no longer react in a certain way that
Right.
you assumed that your spouse, your partner, or your co-parenting partner
To
should
do the
adjust
same.
with you because you did. And it's
Right.
like if they still show it ignorant, 10 years later, granted doesn't make it okay, but why are you expecting something different?
Right. And I love that you said that because the reality is people like in when relationships end, they end differently and they end it differently and they end at different times for people. So where you walked out and it was over at that moment, like because you probably like and I'm saying you personally, Danielle, like when you have finished with something, you have
Oh yeah,
processed
Danielle's
it.
done.
You did not leave with
It's just
the
my physical
doubts and all
body.
that.
You just saw my physical body leave. 2 months
Yes,
ago,
but your
I'm done. I'm at
mind and your
peace.
emotions, your spirit had
Yes,
already had a funeral for that person.
if they deserved one. But
And there's that, right?
yes. Hmm.
And so that is people leaving at different times. right?
Yes.
People say when a woman is gone, like when she
Well,
finally leaves, she been
mhm.
gone. That is very true in a lot of cases, but a lot of
Very
cases
true.
it's not, because sometimes as women we leave a situation or we are left in a situation and that bitterness is just sitting and hanging on. I want to
Festering. Yeah.
encourage y'all as you listen to today's show. I want to encourage you to do the work, whatever that looks like for you. For some of you, it looks like therapy. For some of you, it looks like just journaling. For some of you, it looks like just going back to that person, having a conversation. You hurt me. This is how, this is why, this is what I felt. And I want to talk to you about it because I really don't walk around with I don't want to walk around wishing that you were dead or trying to kill you. Right. Like both things can be
And no threats here. Okay.
right.
I'm
No
just
threats.
putting that out
I'm
there.
just yeah, I'm
We're
giving
just
it
speaking openly, but I gotta throw in a disclaimer because people be trying to get sound bites in. That's not what this is. These are people real lives and people do have those thoughts. However, they're just a thought, it's not an action. We're
absolutely.
referencing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so, um, I think that a lot of times we don't think about like why people are holding on to whatever
Hmm.
it is, right? Because we're like, hey, they broke up with me.
Or
Why?
even themselves. Why do they keep going back?
Yes.
Why do
Yeah. And
they
so,
keep
go ahead.
accepting this person
Yes.
despite?
And it's the expectation trap, I think, in a lot of cases, we want someone like to be nice to us, but we don't think about how they have disrespected us privately, and so they can't be nice to us publicly because it means that they're being two-faced in a sense, right? It's like
Right, right.
you done did all this talking about me behind my back, and now that you want to have conversation with me or whatever, you can't do. It's kind of like that friend that hides you as a friend, right? Like,
Hmm.
oh, we cool now, we cool, but they don't invite you to the circle because they know how bad they've talked about you in that circle, and so you
Right,
can't expect
right.
someone who disrespects you privately to cooperate publicly
Probably.
because the
Right.
two just do not match. And that inconsistency is going to keep you frustrated when you like, why does he act like this when he's um I'm gonna give an example. I have a friend whose ex-husband really treats her bad. And she's like, he did everything to me. And I was like, well, because he's with the woman he cheated on you with. And what's happening was when he was with her, he had to dog you so that he could justify having her on the side. And now
Right.
he has to keep dogging you so that
Keeping.
she don't feel uncomfortable about
Mm-hmm.
y'all,
Hmm.
about the fact that y'all really were cool and he just was stepping
Right.
out. That's the
Don't
thing.
make it right, but that's the real. Hmm.
Right. And so in co-parenting, that looks like you want to do everything you can to keep her away from the kids. You want to make sure that she is suffering, not because she did anything wrong, but because you yourself are just over the top with how you speak negatively to your
Yeah.
kids about her,
Yeah. Right,
to your
right. In
friends
their
about her.
absence. Right,
Yes.
right, right,
And
right.
then you know that they're not the type of person to run back and tell their side of the story. I'm not. I listen, you can say whatever you want to say about me. I'm not gonna run and correct not near detail because my people, for me, they absolutely know. Like, yeah,
Right.
that sound like her, I'm gonna ask. Or
Mhm.
don't sound like her. I ain't even finna bother her with that mess. But if you
Right,
believe
right,
it, by all means, go with them and God.
right. Right,
I don't have the energy. I
right,
don't run around reclaiming my name. I don't. I listen. I move on. It's too many people who want to be in my circle for me to be worried about people trying to exit. Okay.
right, right, right.
But I think that expectation to get people to, oh my God, can we just stop? Like sometimes you just gotta go, hey, I get it. You talk about me to them. And so to have me around and they see that I'm a good person, it really
Right.
disturbs your spirit. So go ahead. Your circle is safe. Your circle of idiots is safe. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Drink your
And
water.
and and when we speak, we're we representing men and him and her. It's not a specific
Right.
gender that does this. Both men and women both do this, okay? Um,
Yes.
and then also within this is the aspect of accepting the hard truths. If you knew the person that you was with was a butthole, they're not gonna magically no longer be a butthole because
Yes.
certain things have changed about the relationship, or because sometimes different aspects have changed that may have been stressors, you know,
Hmm.
or caused more stress within the relationship or even just the parenting. But
Yes,
it doesn't default conclude that, oh, we're good now because this is not going on and that's resolved. And granted, that would be nice. That would
it would.
make sense. But however, if your ex-partner or the co-parenting parent has always had difficult or has shown to not be able to have difficult conversations and come to a mutual agreement, don't
Hmm.
expect it to magically appear, because now our son is 13, okay, and he had 13 years of not doing nothing on working on himself. So if he
Yeah,
does not feel that these things are a problem, if he don't feel there's aspects of him or what he contributes is a problem, or if she just feels that she's a great parent, there's nothing that's
yeah,
going to change. And
that's.
within that, when parents do this, it causes more stress on them.
Hmm.
It's already stressful. Don't get me wrong, okay? There's it's kind of like this underlying stress that's for the most part always there, but it heightens for that other person who, well, why can't they just do this? And we've talked about this before, and I don't even message him no more. I just talk to my child, and you all the various things, right?
And
Once
was
again,
while we on this subject, can I
go back.
just
We
say,
can circle back. We sure can.
moms? No, let me not even say. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and speak to the moms
All right,
because I'm a
go ahead.
mom.
Mm-hmm.
That I'ma just talk to my child stuff is rooted in stupidity, and we have to stop that. Because if you cannot talk to the person you created a child with, not in the cases of that where they have been physically abusive, but a lot of y'all claiming emotional abuse because he won't talk to you because he hang up every time you start cussing him out, and then you say he's emotionally abusive because he just don't take. Like, can we just get to a level of maturity? Can we come to a general consensus that as friends of the woman for behaving like this, that we just gonna say, hey, that's dumb, stop it.
Yeah, stop it. Exactly. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Thank you
So
for coming to my TED
within
talk.
yeah, no, within the parents that I work with, for those who don't know, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I've been
Yes.
providing therapy for 20 plus years. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's a little bit
Mm.
of something, okay? But with
Not
that,
old, experienced and seasoned.
thank you. But with that, I tell and encourage
Hmm.
parents to stick to the script. If the other parent is showing that they have difficulty effectively communicating, if they have difficulty staying on track related to their child,
Yes.
the script is the date, the time, the location. That's the script. So they may give you a whole paragraph back. However, you're just confirming or denying the date, the time, the location. All that other stuff is for them.
Yeah.
That's for them to deal with. It don't mean it ain't gonna get you heightened, okay? It don't mean that you go start your text and be like a delete, delete, delete. It doesn't mean that that's not gonna happen. However, in those moments, our ex-partners, or even you didn't necessarily even have to actually be in a relationship with this person. You guys joined and created a child. So they know what to say to get you
Yes.
there. They know what to do to get you there. For me, and my children are all grown except for my baby girl, but for me, I'm a planner. Come with me. Come text me about some impromptu something. I've worked on myself. I've improved, but it's a day. It's a progress,
You
right? It's a
have
journey.
you have in all areas because that was not exclusive to that lady. That was what you mean it's a surprise birthday lunch and y'all just planned it and everybody want me to come. Like, girl, first of all, if you was gonna surprise me, you should have did that at 3 this morning when it first hit your brain in your sleep. If you can't
Right.
message from sleep, then I don't
But
know what Danielle was
for me, there was aspects of I know me and I
she ain't
know
coming, y'all. That's
my quirks,
the
and there you
synopsis
go.
says she
I
ain't
won't be
coming.
there. Send me a picture. And I don't feel no type of what type of way about it, okay? We all good. But anyways, but there are things that I know that are is a me thing. And my preference does not mean that it needs to happen and be followed through in that manner. However, sticking to and things that I say and share are things that I've also have implemented myself.
Right. Right. Because
So
we are implementers.
right. Well, we all human. We all got lives. We all have things. Me and Kiana, we don't come from life is great and everything's no, so you
Oh,
get some of the professional and you get a lot of the personal, to be honest. So
yes.
if you have a difficult co-parenting relationship, stick to the script. And my humor part of it all,
Give me the three
oh,
parts of the
date,
script.
time, location,
Daytime
and
location.
who's transporting, confirming, yes, I am taking, I'll be there, said this date, this time, this blah, blah, blah. But when you stick to the script, and this is the part when I said the humor aspect, it
Mhm.
clearly shows that other person's lack of common sense, lack of ability to regulate, lack of, and granted, I can go on and on and on and on. And right now I said it was humorous, but
Right.
basically they're proving your point where you don't have to say nothing at all.
Yes.
And
I'm
once again,
actually
keep the text messages because that's your receipts.
date, time, location, and transportation.
Yes.
I am sending that to someone right now. Like, yeah, this
Yes.
is your script from here on out.
Yes.
Quit talking to that
And
lady. She's
and
crazy.
it's not going to be easy. I like to put that out there too, because I'm all about a nice, it sounds good, but I'm all about a real too. Like it ain't gonna be like, okay, thanks, and you get a thumbs up. No, you're gonna get a paragraph back. And if
Yes.
that paragraph or that response back, if it has nothing to do with that script, you do not need to respond.
Right. And you got to remember, you can't always have adult conversations. And they're rehearsing whatever
What they're gonna
happened
say,
and how their truth is and all the things that they remember that you did wrong. They will never address what they did wrong. Like it you can't you have to stop engaging on a lot of
exactly.
levels because again, you can't expect respect from someone who is still bitter. So the fact that they're constantly engaging tells you they are still bitter and they need to pull you in. I was telling a friend of mine, you she need a daily dose or a weekly dose, and sometimes y'all can stretch it out to a month, but she needs a dose of drama with you because it fuels her. You can't give it to her because the more you go, well, no, that's not true. Then she gets a high off of what is the dopamine hit? Is that what
It
it's
is
called?
dopamine, yes.
Okay, look at me.
I call it the feel good chemical, but yes, that's
There we
released
go.
in the brain. Yes.
But it's really toxic, right? And I'm
Hmm.
like, she's
Very.
literally getting off to this engagement because it's the only time she gets some of you. You have to just keep starving her of it. Because as soon
Yes.
as she
Yes.
gets it, it starts the cycle all over again.
It
And
does.
you
It
got to
does.
disconnect the cycle. And so she's rehearsing adult conversations in her brain. What you said, what you did, and then how you lied and said you didn't say it, you didn't do it. And you are over here going, here's the proof that I didn't say it, that I didn't do it. But she's still in her brain over here
Right. 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 And
holding
I
me to an imaginary conversation.
right. And with that, it goes back to one of the topics we had related to the story that we tell ourselves. And so when we
Yes.
tell ourselves that story, guess what? We're telling everybody else. You know what I mean? So
Same
and
doggone
so
story.
people do need a certain reaction from you that
Yeah.
continues to reinforce or support the story that they done made up. The long story short of that, the story that they tell them stuff has a little bit of sprinkles of the truth. The rest of it is embellishment. Embellishment is just a lie. Okay. So it's not the truth. So when a person is functioning from their own truth or their narrative or story, a lot of people have learned or they're conditioned to create certain scenarios, certain environments. There's certain behaviors. It's called pattern behaviors, but I just call it the hamster's wheel in regards to that interaction. So they say certain things, or they do or don't do certain things to get a certain response out of that specific
Absolutely.
person. And they know what to do, how to do it, how to they're an expert in that field. Okay. So for you, you can choose to not be a part. Stick to the script. Don't respond.
It's especially stop expecting them to respond in a way that you would respond, right? Because you
Yes.
like it's the baseline versus the bonus, right? It's like you got to expect consistency out of them, but you're expecting kindness out of them. And so you are missing it because it's easy to work with consistent behavior, even if it's bad behavior. I know what I'm
Right.
dealing with. I know what to
Mhm.
expect.
Accepting
But
what it is.
kindness,
Yeah.
right? But
You don't
kindness
have to
from a
like it,
co-parent that is resentful
but
and bitter, that's a bonus. It can't be the baseline, but you keep holding it as the baseline, and now you're like, well, I thought he was gone. Well, I thought she was gone because you making that kindness the baseline. It's not, it's the bonus. They're usually very rude. And now
are
because you
very
have
inconsiderate.
right, but they're consistently rude and inconsiderate. So you know what you're
Exactly.
dealing with. But when you
Right.
tell
Right.
yourself, oh, they're gonna be a much better person if I just keep the positive. Listen, I'm all for keeping the positive mindset. Keeping the positive mindset is one thing, being delusional is another.
It is. It is.
It's
Yeah.
like
This is, the phrase is Miss Maya Angelou, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
believe it. And I might be paraphrasing this wrong, but when they go low,
I already know what you're gonna say. I don't think that the listeners know exactly
they know.
Coach
They know.
Kiana's version, but
Yeah, I was like, I'm paraphrasing this wrong, maybe, but I'm absolutely that's not what Michelle Obama said.
you're
She
right.
said
Right.
when they go low, we go high. So stop going to hell when they go low.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta
And I was gonna
it's
say,
a win for your kid.
within
That's
all of this, is it frustrating? Yes.
hmm
Is it angering? Is it annoying? Is it all the things? It is. It is. But when you get to a place of accepting the hard truth,
yeah,
doesn't mean it makes it perfectly better, but there is a likely chance that it will decrease just those emotional frustrations that that's heightening more of your frustration, your anger. This is your expectation of them when they have shown you that they can't do it and or they don't want to. And that's just what it
go
is.
ahead and put that one back on. Put that on repeat.
When they've shown that they can't do it, because in some situations the person does not have the capacity, but in a lot of situations they don't want to. Why
Right,
didn't you? Because I didn't want to. That's why.
right.
It don't make
And
it right, but it's real.
understand that your healing doesn't inspire their healing. Like
Yeah.
I don't care how much you try and you share your testimony. Your healing does not inspire the healing of a bitter parent. Your happiness does not inspire it may enrage,
Yeah, so maybe the opposite effect.
infuriate, but
Yeah.
inspire the other parent? No, not typically. Now there are several um exceptions to the rule. My sister has had the amazing ability to have both of her ex-husbands like treat the other's daughter like it's their daughter, and they treat each other
That's how
like
it's,
brothers. They
and
treat
that's
each other
great when that
like
can
brothers.
happen. Yeah.
Yes, and
And it
I'm
can.
just like, oh, and I had to ask her like, how did you manage this? And she was like,
Yeah.
I just don't do drama. Like whoever don't know how to get along, got to stay away till they learn to get along. The end, right?
Period.
And when she started
Yes.
dating someone new, He thanked both of them. Like y'all make this stepdaddy thing real easy, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, because it can be, and
Yes.
we see so much and we hear so much about just the conflict. The baseline is the conflict, and it does not have to be.
Yes. I like that the baseline is the conflict. Yeah.
And so, like for me and my family dynamic, I did see my mom and my stepmom. You would think they was best friends.
Hmm.
You would think that that was not the mom and the stepmom,
My
and
mom and my
because
mom get along really well as well. Hmm.
yes, and
But
it's
we
great to
40. We like shoot, me and my twin for almost 47. So yeah, what would be the purpose of beefing these days? Like
right. Right. But I shared that to show that it does exist and we rarely hear about it. You know,
yeah.
what my father did had nothing to do with my stepmom. You know what I mean? There are certain situations that had nothing to do with the other person. And being aware, like, okay, that ain't my business. You know, my man is with me or my woman's with me,
Come on
and we
here.
respect each other and we have a healthy relationship and moving forward. So, granted, it doesn't mean that there weren't various things that may have popped up and there were some difficulties of navigating it. However,
Mhm.
accepting each other where they were and
Yes.
also holding each other accountable where, like, do you do me? Come on now. And that's where I say with my
Appreciate it.
stepmom, that's what she did a lot for my dad, which
Mm.
was great because it also then modeled for me. I mean, no one says, and I'm going to be a stepmom. I mean, like a step parent, no one does that, you know what I mean? But life just
Right.
happens. And
Right.
so for me, having that reference, because I experienced, granted, it was more in my adulthood in life, but it was a pivotal part in my life. It showed me, like, okay, this thing can actually happen. This even before I went to be a therapist, okay? Because I was like, girl, you a good one. I'm the good child. The other one
No,
over there, something special. That's another situation. However, me, I'm good, but it just showed the level of dedication. I am so serious. It just shows the
no.
level of, and
That's
it's
why
still
I'm
the truth
laughing.
at 40 plus, okay? But it just showed so the dynamics of it all of what it took.
Hmm.
And it's not a me thing. So as a parent, even if you're co-parenting, like Coach Kiana says a lot of time, was it a win for my child or was it a win for me?
Yeah. And if it's a win for me, but it's a loss for my daughter, it's a loss.
Exactly.
Like they're like the
Exactly.
reality is it's only a win if Kayla wins. That's the truth, right? In getting married, I had to like really like have a conversation with Kayla's dad and have a conversation with my husband because I need y'all to have peace and function well
Right.
because he and I don't function well all the time. So, and my husband was like, let me be clear that once we get married, there is no arguing with him because my wife can't argue with another man because I ain't gonna argue
Girl,
with you.
say it again. Because I did hear you. I just want you to say it again.
My husband was like, you ain't gonna argue with him because my wife can't argue with another man. He was like, I don't argue with you. You're not gonna
There you
argue with
go.
another man.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like, okay, he's like, you can express yourself, and I get it. Just on the very nature of who you are, sometimes you're gonna get heated in that expression. When he started expressing back, we're gonna end this conversation because I cannot function as your husband and as a great stepdad if I need to correct bad behavior over here and bad behavior here. He's like, because I'm gonna correct you too. But I gotta correct it. Like, you correct me in private.
Right,
Everybody
right,
else
right,
gets
right,
corrected.
right. Exactly. Yes,
But
yes.
having that understanding and understanding that peace in the relationships start when you start trying to prove that you're the better parent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's performative maturity.
Yes.
And you need to protect your peace by having boundaries, by stating like in the same way that I cannot argue with my daughter's father because my husband ain't going for it. I'm not going for him arguing with his son's mother,
Vice versa.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wrap this up. One, because my mouth is slick. That's not good for nobody. Like the minute
Because we all know our things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
minute she say something crazy to you now, you know.
That's a whole
Yeah,
different
it's not
conversation that don't have
right.
no
So
words.
we
It's
gotta
just physical
stop it so
contact.
that it does not escalate because
Yeah,
like from what I understand, like her mom's just as slick as mine. So it's like that's not productive at all. And
it's
when we
not.
when we think about it up front, right, and we can make a plan on how to handle things, we're not reactive. And I got to give
Exactly.
him credit for that. Like there's like a plan for if this, then this. If this, then this. And we
Yes.
stick to the plan. The problem is a lot of us are so performative in our maturity that we never actually get to the plan. We never actually go, let's talk about what if this happened? How are we gonna make like how are we gonna
Mhm.
make this better? How are we gonna make it right? How are we gonna avoid it?
Yes. Yes.
Not avoidance, but just avoid the negativity, avoid the drama of it all, avoid creating a situation that's going because we can
Yes.
talk about it, we can confront it, but
Right.
confrontation does not mean fight.
Right.
Not
Exactly. It doesn't.
like you
It's
know
just
what
a
I'm
difference
saying?
of opinion. It does not mean fight.
Right. And I have a good man, and good men don't have you fighting over him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't.
Because there's a level of
You
respect of
have
himself
never seen
and
two
of the
women
women
fighting
that he
over
would.
a
Yeah.
good man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have
Yes.
never seen two women fighting over a good man. You're not gonna get over this one. You ain't gonna catch me fighting over him. Mm, I'll fight for him though. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come back. So anyway, when you stop having performative maturity and you start
Mm-hmm.
protecting your peace, you stop trying to prove who's the better parent and you just go be the better parent. Now,
Yeah.
in a situation where the child lives with a custodial parent, but they're not the
Mhm.
better parent, all you can do is your part.
Say
If
that
that kid,
again.
all you can do is your part.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and pay your child support, male or female, because child support is not exclusive to men, regardless of
Right.
the unpopular opinions.
Right.
You pay your child support. You keep reaching out to your kid. You keep a record of you reaching out to your kid. After so long, you go ahead and and if you have tried to have open communication, then you go ahead and you take that situation back to court. I absolutely understand that keep the government out my business. However, your kid is your business. And when the other parent is alienating you, when the other parent is doing things, saying things to keep your child from wanting to participate in any of the
Mhm.
reindeer games, you have to escalate it to court.
Yeah.
Don't give up and say, I'm just gonna wait till they come around at 25.
Mm-hmm.
That's not real.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. Like,
not
don't,
realistic.
that's not the option. That's not the option.
And can I say this, particularly for moms who do that, who alienate their kids, and then when your son bucks up at you, and he gonna buck up at you.
Mm-hmm.
He is because part of manhood is establishing his dominance. He's going to buck up at you. And then you want this alienated father to come in and play deputy dad
Right.
and check his son but you have not allowed them to have a relationship. This man been fighting
Right.
for a relationship. And there are plenty of women who are like, what do you mean he got to fight for? I just want my son's dad to actually pick him up when he say he is. My son was outside on the step waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be the brownstone on the stoop, waiting.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right. Because you can't pick and choose.
Right. Even if you have an issue with dad, if dad is not a danger, if the situation is not a danger, dad gets to have a life too. He gets to have a wife too. He gets to have a girlfriend too. He gets to have a life outside of you, and you don't get to control how
Mm-hmm.
your son interacts because he don't control how your son interacts at your house. Calm down.
Right.
Let this kid be with their dad, go to family functions and all of that without your negative opinion and without your interrogation. I did not interrogate Kayla, but I always asked her, did anything happen that made you happy? Did anything
Mm-hmm.
happen that made you sad? If it was
Right.
something that made her happy, tell me about it. If it was
Right.
something that made her sad, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it was something that I needed to take to her dad, I did so immediately. If it's just information, I have, oh, okay, well, Kayla, maybe it was this. Did you ever think about this? Or, hey, Kayla, you were wrong and they had every right. Because this mindset that if my kid don't like it, then it's demonic. That's not
Right,
true.
right,
That's not true at
right,
all. Like sometimes you got to tell your kid, hey, you screwed up.
right. You was wrong. Yeah,
Sorry. But
yeah,
again, when you are the bitter parent and now they can't expect decency from you, not respect, but and that's another thing. Like no longer will I be giving you the respect you demand. I will give you the respect that you deserve. And I'm teaching my daughter the same thing.
yeah,
Give the respect they deserve, not the respect they demand, because what I don't want is for her to be bowing down to people who would absolutely stomp on her head once she did so. We're not doing
right, right, right. And with that, there is that fine line of trying to determine what is the proper response, what is the healthy response, what is the correct response given we call it the bad behavior or the bitter behavior, okay? The bitter
that.
behavior, of the other parent as your child gets older, because what you're telling your child and navigating your child through at 3 and 5 is different at 11 and 12, and it's different
Right.
at 15 and
And
16
if it's not,
because
you failed them somewhere. Oh,
and
sorry. I didn't mean to
what
say that out
no, you're
loud.
good. And what a lot of parents don't realize, whether you're bitter or healed, is that we are the teachers of life.
Mm.
We teach and show them how to have difficult conversations, whether that's with friends, whether that's with coworkers, whether that's with family members, whether that's with our partner. We show them. We show them how to have healthy ones. And if that don't exist in your family or in your household, your child is winging it. And more than likely is also they're functioning from within a unhealthy space. Um,
Yes.
as well as, and granted, and then obviously, it's not their intention, but that's all they saw. So they expect it to be normal. Hence the reason why I said that conflict is not the baseline when it comes to co-parenting and in just a blended family. So if your life experience as a child was just seeing kind of like your parents not getting along, they
Mm.
kind of tolerated each other. As you get older, one you can acknowledge, okay, well, it really wasn't that bad. It was my dad. Unconsciously
Yep.
and consciously, they're going in with this expectation more times than not. I'm not saying across the board, but there is at least one, maybe two relationships underneath their belt, that they've experienced where
Right.
they were reenacting their childhood in regards to their relationships, whether they have had children or a child with someone who very much mirrored the bitter parents' behavior. Okay. And know nothing different. So they don't see it as being wrong. They don't see it as being unhealthy. So within
Mm.
all of this, it has a domino effect.
Right. And it lets them keep you as the villain because if they can stay angry, like well, they want to stay angry because their forgiveness would expose their guilt. So it's just easier to just make you the villain in all the stories, right? But pay attention because they're gonna tell you eventually that they were wrong. They may not say I was wrong, but they will say things like, I should have listened. I shouldn't have tried to date you while you were still in your marriage. I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a lot. I should have told our kids to pay attention and listen to you more. They're gonna it's gonna come up. And then they're gonna
Yeah,
go right back to their bitterness because their dislike says more about their inner world than it does about yours. But
yeah,
people have a tendency to create an environment where they are the right person, that they are the person that's in the right. So when they tell
yeah,
the story, they will never tell the stuff they did, never tell the stuff they said.
yeah, yeah,
Be on
yeah.
speakerphone, hoping you don't mention anything that they have
Right,
said, and then they
right.
prepare to call you everything but a child of God.
Mm-hmm,
Once
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you do that,
And with your growth, we'll just call it that, because you chose to do your work. um, it very much, even more so, exposes where they're at, whether they like it or not. and obviously that's not their intention. They don't want their stuff being out there, but it's very easy to see.
Wait,
So where
give me just a little bit of a breakdown. Like I'm hearing you. I'm trying to
okay,
apply it.
so let's say that you know for yourself that you guys would be off and on, break up, get back together, break up, get back together
Right.
for years. This is a lot of people's relationships for years, for 5+ years, for years. And within that, you're giving that person their space, but you guys are still operating as a family,
Mhm.
and things that you may have said related to what you don't like, your preference in regards to just being an adult in
Right.
this parenting relationship.
Okay.
Um, Having open conversations or continued conversations in regards to your child or children, and still being able to make, no, let me rephrase that because I won't say still being able to, where you may have been more of the vice behind
Mm,
the navigation of those conversations to make sure they still happened. But however, that other parent, um, very much, well, I'm gonna say like drug their feet. So it's kind of like you tell us you have to come and they don't want to leave, and they're kind of like making it more difficult to leave. So that has been that basically was the role that you end up playing in that relationship. So when a real separation happens and you're expecting something different, like we talked before, no, you guided that conversation. And it really wasn't both of you coming together to make a parental decision for your child. You
right.
basically were the event planner. You basically were, was the spokesperson, if you will, in regards to that. And now you're expecting the other parent to do what you do or have been doing. It doesn't switch on
Mhm.
because you guys are no
Oh,
longer together.
and it will masquerade as parenting concerns when really it's just control issues. They don't want to lose access
Yes.
to the power that they once had.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Then
Having a,
there's the
I'm
connection. But
having
yes,
a
yes. Uh-huh.
cognitive
Uh-huh.
moment. Like my light bulb just went off. Like,
Yes. Yes.
ah,
Because
okay,
within the relationship that you two, the parents, were together, there was a level of control that they had within that romantic relationship. When
right.
that relationship has dissolved, where the control factor doesn't dissipate,
And when you get
it
into a
just
new
shifts.
relationship, now they are mad because you have boundaries that they can't cross anymore. Because your
Mhm.
new husband is not going to tolerate them showing up anytime they want to. Because no, this is my house now. You understand what I'm saying? Your new wife is gonna be like, "Hey, listen, I'm all for her calling at 11 o'clock at night if there's something wrong with your kid,
If
but
it's
to say
it's
hello,
right.
no." You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like
What you
there will
doing? How you been? Hmm.
right. Like, nah, get to the point of this conversation, and guess what? You on speakerphone. Cause what? It's 11.
Yes,
Anything
exactly.
after 6:30, okay. Now listen.
Yeah. So,
That was
and
a good light bulb moment for me.
yeah, because it's within the various topics that that we discuss, they're not simple. They're very complex. It's like a spider web, okay? And there's so
Mhm.
many things that gets intertwined, whether that's a person's intentions or not.
Mhm.
So I like to throw in various things so to help make the connection. There's another piece of the puzzle. It goes here.
Right.
And then you do your work. You know what I mean? Like I said, we
Right.
all have our stuff, and you may be the parent who is bitter. Do your work.
Right.
Because remember,
So can we
you
talk about
are
what
the
do the work
teacher.
look like? What it looks like?
If you know you don't follow through, if you know you have difficulty with creating structure and being consistent with it, if you know that you do not like, excuse me, do not like doing the not so fun part of parenting and operating from the role as a friend, the things that you know for you, you ain't gotta like it, but it is the truth. You need to address those things. And sometimes within that, those things may be tied to past experiences. Sometimes those things are tied up into childhood stuff. So when I say like do your work, that may be going to therapy. That may be going through mediation and actually keeping your mouth shut. That may and shut in the sense that what you really want to say versus how, with what I'm saying, how is that going to positively contribute to
Yes.
I won't say to the problem, but to the decision making in regards to the various aspects, that why you're going to mediation for.
Yes.
It's not to spew your stuff. It's not to make it more difficult. It's not to be like, we ain't gonna agree on it's not to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you may need to actually just start back doing things that you enjoy. Having time for yourself. Granted, as
Yeah.
being a parent, and for those who are parents or just in the parenting role, these children will suck the life. Okay,
Right.
intentionally
But
and on
the
purpose. I
stuff
mean,
you
not
enjoy doing can't be gossiping about the other parent.
no, in a healthy. So anything that I put out
Yeah.
there, I'm referring to in a healthy way.
Right, but I
It's
just had to say that because folks be like, "This is fun for me."
no,
Ruining
pour
a parent
into you in a
child
healthy
relationship.
way. It can even just be journaling, reading, reading up on parenting books. There's podcast. I
Yes.
mean, there's so many different things and options out there that one thing that you may want to do may not be feasible at this time. It's okay because there's other options. So
Hmm.
do your work, whether physically,
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally, do your work. And implement what you're learning. Implement change. You got to change the behavior. So, and the reason why I'm saying this because it makes me think of people. I've been in therapy for 3 years. So what is the result of what is shown for that?
Right, because if you haven't changed in those 3 years, your therapy ain't working. You need a new therapist.
That as well, but also sometimes there's an aspect of the assumption that therapy is supposed to just fix it. And the
Right.
other part is of faith without works is dead. The therapist ain't going in your life and going like, get on up, child. You stop. No, you have to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because
So
if that was the case, your friendships would be your therapy, and that would be sufficient.
yeah, yeah, but we all have our own stuff. I don't care who you are. Work
Yeah.
on you. Start shifting and adjusting just with little things. And one of those little things is you can just be acknowledging, like, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, this for me, I know
Little
I don't have
things
a
that
clue.
matter
So
so much.
I need to reach out to the other parent because I don't know about this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So granted, it will, even when you're working on yourself, it will be very much uncomfortable.
Hmm.
But change does not happen with being comfortable in any capacity.
Facts.
So that's what I mean in regards to do your work, work on your tend to yourself so that you can get out of the bitter category and get into and get into the category, but even just show that okay, they're trying to do different
Yeah.
because a year
And
ago it
it'll
was
help,
something else, but this time it's slightly different.
and I think it'll help people like not personalize and internalize their projections, like they're fighting old versions of you that don't even exist anymore, right? Like I think we talked in the last show about like that operating on an old system, right?
Mhm.
Like you can't do an iPhone 17 on an iPhone 3 system.
Right.
Not gonna
Or
work.
even
You're not gonna
eight,
have
even 10,
access.
okay?
Right. And so you're not gonna have shoot, the 15 is not gonna give you access if you trying to do it with the 17. Like, you
It's
know what I'm saying?
certain
Like
things you can and cannot do. It doesn't even compute. It doesn't even see it.
exactly. And so that
So yeah.
old version of you or the old version of them, right?
Hmm.
Because you can be operating on the old version of another person because when they changed the game, you didn't get the memo.
Well, no, you
So
could have got the memo. Well, I want to.
okay.
You got the memo, and the memo may not necessarily have been very specific to you and told to you, but their behavior showed that there's change that's happening.
Okay. I will accept that as the answer. Yes. So that's a real thing. Like, whether they said it or not, you saw
Right.
the change in their behavior. They stopped arguing with you. They stopped allowing you to cuss them out. They just hang up. They stop allowing you to change the time that you're going to pick up or drop off. They
Right.
started creating healthier boundaries, and they started
Mhm.
demanding their time with the children. They started, a lot of times when a guy goes, you know what, that's it from here on out, like I need my kids, I'm on to follow the court order. Then they go, oh, well, that woman that you with is making you do that, right? And it's like, nah, maybe she opened his eyes to the fact that as the mom of said child, you need a break. As the mom of said child, there's a responsibility. Like, don't just assume that it's negative.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to just stop operating on the old system of you and them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Everything needs an upgrade. And when you upgrade you to best parent I can be
For yourself and for
for
your
your
child.
right.
Not
Up,
proving.
upgrade your own operation to best parent you can be. And you will stop trying to figure out what they're operating on.
Hmm.
You will let him have that iPhone 6. And you not gonna trip about, like, yeah, if that's what you can afford, go for, okay. If
Right.
that's what you got,
Right. Right.
but just keep operating on the better system, because what happens when we see somebody else's phone and we see the upgrades that they have in their
Mhm.
technology? All
Exactly.
these features work. You can change
Right.
this your new this the new camera. Oh,
Right.
I can see clear on it. Wait, I can zoom. You can zoom in that far on the new
Hmm.
system. On the new system of the best you, you're emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
On the new system of the best you read books. You've taken parenting classes. On the new system of the
Hmm.
best you praying more
Yeah. Yeah.
and praying less.
Yeah.
Prey less,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Get on the new system. Get on because when he sees or when she sees the new system in you, then they're like, I want the new system. I want to be emotionally regulated. I
Right.
want to not be on the verge of jail time every couple of days, every time I leave the house. I want people to
Hmm.
like me because I'm a good person and not because I got money. I want, like, operate. Man,
Hmm.
I want to be healthier so I can live for my child and myself.
Right.
I want
Yes.
to take
Yes.
care of me
Yes.
because I want my younger self to take care of the older me. So that means I got to start drinking water, more water, less Hennessy, right? It means I need more reading, less bros podcast. It means I need to exercise more,
Yeah.
even if I have injuries, because swimming don't hurt nobody, right? and,
Right.
and, and less time on the couch. It means I need more vegetables and less Tapatio Doritos.
Right.
If my husband is watching this, like, don't play with me. Don't be acting like I'm just out here. I talk to myself. You ain't got to say it when you come home. Okay, like,
But yes, but all those things, and just
operate
keep in
on the new
mind
system.
that your child needs emotional safety. So what she tickled herself, okay? But it just
Because he gonna be like, did you say don't play with you on the internet? Like, girl, knock it off. Like, he just be so unbothered by me all the
but to encompass, like
time.
I mentioned before, it's like a spider web. Your child needs emotional safety. They
Mm,
don't need a front row seat to you and dad or you and mom or whomever going at it.
yeah.
Keep that in mind. And when you think they don't hear or can't hear, they do, and they have. And just to keep that just short and sweet in that, but also, and I would just say speaking in general, because at the end of the day, once again, we're all still human and we still have our
Mhm.
moments. And it's like, well, I'm gonna meet them where they're at. Don't, don't, because let them keep their chaos so you can keep your calm. And within that, that is set with boundaries. So if you know they coming with some BS, because you know what that looks like, you know what that sounds like. Once again, that n- not responding to it is you sticking to the script, okay? Thing it was near location, date, time, and transportation mentioned in there. It does not require me to respond in any way. Granted, you may tell your friend, but it's not a response to that person.
Right.
Okay. So, and granted, this is a lot of information. However, with what we talked about and with what we shared, it's very important to follow through with those things, but also to keep those things in mind. It will be frustrating. It will be overwhelming. You will
Yeah.
want to throw something, okay? But remind yourself where you're at versus where they are and have chosen to stay. It's a
And
choice.
also remind yourself that if you throw something and it hit them, that is assault. And if you throw
It is.
something and it
It
breaks
is
something,
assault.
it causes more than $100 in damage. It is a felony. Just while we remembering, let's just
Thank you for the breakdown, and that it is. It's
because that's important.
it's too funny.
For sure.
But yeah.
Let's just upgrade our thinking
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because while we cannot expect respect from people who are still bitter, what we can do is not create additional bitterness by our lack of understanding or our own bad behavior. Um, and we gotta put the kids first. Your kids, their kids, y'all's kids. Put them on first. All the kids have to win, especially if
yes.
they're under 18, right? Because once they're past 18, it's a different game. But all the kids should win. And all the adults, it should be absolutely willing to take an L. And consider what you think is losing. Because your kid having a great relationship with their other parent is not you losing. Your kid having a great relationship with their step parent is not you losing. Should you check up out of this earth? Or should you need to leave the state and travel unexpectedly for an emergency? You need to be able to trust that other parent. And that comes with you establish a relationship with them. And if you think you will never need them, God has a way of humbling people.
He does.
He
He
has a
does.
way of humbling people. That does not mean it's easy. But
Mm-hmm.
like, can you help them establish enough of a relationship that you don't have to worry about your kid and their care, even if they don't like you? You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about your kid and their care.
Right.
We got to do better.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
that. That
It
you
is.
you you did the
That's
slow
it.
blink. You did the slow blink. I'm
That's
like,
it.
oh, that means the show is over.
So cute. But no, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. Don't
So
don't expect what it should be versus what it is.
facts. That's facts. All right. But as we before we sign off, like please remember to be respectful, but
Mhm.
give them the respect they deserve. Well, if you can give them the respect that they demand, that's fine. But if they don't get to demand, give them the respect they deserve. Um, but keep in mind that that comes back hard, especially
Mhm.
for me. All right, Danielle, thank you so much for thank you for loving me and being my good friend and joining me here on The Real on Parenting. I appreciate you. If y'all have a question, a comment, want us to do a show about something, want us to reach out to someone that you want us to interview and do a show with, someone reached out and was like, I really want you to talk to this child custody lawyer. And I was just like, okay, send me her number. Like, don't just say, I want you to do that. You didn't give me a name. You didn't give me a phone number.
Yeah.
You didn't give me an Instagram
Get the
handle.
proper information so we can reach out.
Like, it would be nice to, know who you're talking about. That would be great. So, but you can email us at therealonparenting@gmail.com. And
Mhm.
did I say that right? Therealonparenting
Yeah.
at
Yep.
gmail.com. Okay. All right. Very good.
We
Look at
did.
me.
We did.
All right, y'all. We're signing off. I'm Coach Kiana Shaw Tatum, and this is my co-host.
therapist Danielle.
And we shall talk to you soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye.